Hello and welcome to episode 4 of my Let's Play series. Let's begin with where we started. We starting in 1954. Yeah, 1954. There is going to be... This episode is a little longer because I had a small glitch, so I kept playing for an additional year. So this episode will be from 1954 to the end of 1955. Like, right on the end of 1955. Like, I have a launch in December, like, 20th, I think, or 16th. So, literally right to the end of 1955. Nothing is scheduled for 1956. Well, I mean, there's some rocket launches. There's a rocket launch designed for 1956. But, the launch that finally gets me above the carbon line in 1956. But, that's quite a distance away. I'm almost not thinking of not doing it to build up my money a little bit more. But I probably shouldn't. Let's probably go ahead and get out of the carbon line so I can take more lucrative contracts and start trying to get contracts that get me out of the start giving me more money, because the space contracts are more worth it. So, I should probably just go ahead and bite the bullet. But I'm thinking of pushing that launch back to the end of 1956 and getting me a couple more sounding rocket launches out, or at least one more. But, yes. That's future plans. Current plans are, we got 4 launches in this episode? Yes. Technically 3, but we have more. So, time for the first launch. It is, of course, at night, so I will edit the post-production, make it brighter. It makes the buttons a little blurry, but at least you can see the rocket. I play with this a little later in the episode to make the rocket stand out even more. But that is future thing. That's future William. That's future rocket launch. This one goes pretty well. Get some science, I recover it, I do a bunch of stuff. So, this one launches pretty well, nothing goes wrong. This one, it gets all the way up to about 60,000, almost 70,000, I think. It's a while before I break the 80,000. I think I get 70,000 eventually. So, yeah, this one doesn't get as high as some of my later ones. I eventually... words are... Yeah, words are failing me today. After getting the science, I immediately am going to spend it, of course. So that's... We get some... This one the first launch is all the launches, I think, this year and next year are all about just getting money to pay for the rocket that is getting me above the Kármán line in 1956. Because the rocket that I've designed for 1956 is expensive. Because I have to retool all of my tanks, purchase new rocket configurations, and yeah, so that's all of this, is trying to get my money back from wasting it in 1952 or 1. Yeah, more 1951 and 1952. I did a lot of wasting of money. And technically a lot of 1953. I lost a lot of money in 1953 too. And of course, like every other rocket launch that ends up in the water, this one ends up in the water, and there's nothing I can do about what's about to happen. I've tried a lot of different things to fix what is about to happen, and it doesn't really work. It hits the water and just sinks, and I do not know, as I've said multiple times every episode, I do not know what is causing it. Of course, don't even weigh that much. They can't. The procedural notes don't weigh that much, so there's no way it's. So yes, we recover it, get a little bit of funds back and a little bit of data, and then we hit done and go pick our science that we're going to research. This is the one I decide, and then right on to our next launch. No waiting this episode. We ain't got time this time for the fast forwarding. We ain't got time this episode. This is my test. My last rocket launch was mainly to get a contract to pay for this. This is testing a new rocket engine I literally just got. It is tested one time, and then I proceed to put it on a rocket with another engine variant, I think right at the end of 1955 or the beginning of 1955, I can't remember. Yeah, sometime in 1955. Yeah, in 1955 is when it happens. In the middle of 1955, most likely, and the end of 1955 has another engine, new engine config. Now, these rockets have gone very well for me. This is at 2 times speed in post-production, by the way. So, yes, it is much faster than it was in real life. I've cut down a lot of footage. In fact, that's why we're not doing the fast forwarding, because I just had to cut it all out to fit 2 years in. And since I'm doing sounding rockets, it's just better this way to just 2 years in, and then instead of having 5 episodes of just launching 3 sounding rockets per episode, I decided to do a special, basically an extra long episode this time to get 2 years in, to hopefully in 1956 get this one. Since it's daytime, you can actually kind of see what's going on. Not much, but you can kind of see it. It lands, then I recover it, and I get some science and funds back. And then we're gonna go get me a new contract, and yeah, it lags, it hangs up here a minute. And then we're gonna go get me a new contract for the next thing that launches. It's a surprise. The next thing that launches is at night again. I think this is the one I've played with the filters a little bit more to make the engine stand out a little bit more. Yes, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm getting tired of these night launches, though. They're very annoying. I'm probably gonna start pushing them to the day because I don't have more important things. As long as I don't hit the launch, the electricity doesn't go down. Because when you bring them to the air thing, it doesn't actually load it onto the launch pad until you hit launch. So I could fast forward it today and then hit launch, and then it's technically on the launch pad. So if I came out or fast forwarded there, then it would run out of electricity. And I think that will be my plan, as long as I'm still in the sounding rocket stage, and as long as I'm still basically launching 3 things a year. And I'm going to accept a high-paying contract and increase my building thing to basically be 9 times out of 10 just but yes, this one I think has my new rocket engines. I think I unlocked them in between now, yeah, because it's got 2 different types. I think they're both going up, yeah. So I think this is the first one. I might have the new engines, or I might be wrong. It still might have one set of the old config engines of the Warp Corporal and not the other, and only the one new one, but I think it has both new ones. I'm not 100% yeah, I think it's only got the one new one. Yeah, it's only got the one new one. That's right. And I got a contract completed because, again, this year and next year is all about earning enough money to pay for my Carmen Line mission. I've just had to spend these past 2 years just gathering money to pay for this mission that is about to happen. And I'm probably going to do at least one more sounding rocket mission, low sounding rocket mission, while I can, to get just a tiny bit extra money. But yeah, I'm going to do it at least one time and then launch my sounding rocket that will get me above the Carmen Line. It even has a drag chute, which was annoying to fucking set up, but yes. This one, okay, you've seen these things time and time again. At this point, I've gotten pretty good at just launching these things straight up, completing the contract, and bringing it down, honestly, at this point. If I didn't show these, I wouldn't have, like, any content until, like, 1956. So, I may start skipping recovering them once you guys see that I've completed the contract. I may skip ahead to the screen where I've recovered them to show you guys I've recovered them. Maybe. I don't know. It's probably gonna be a while till I have to resort to that. Honestly, if I didn't want to be in like 1960, I'd probably just grind out a few sounding rocket contracts until 1950, until almost 1960. But this is this one you actually do get to see some time pass forward, because I needed some time to decide what I was going to do, and it was take a new contract. It is the X-Planes contract. For the first time, I'm going to take it, and something weird happens. My plane decides to crash because the wheels get stuck in the ground. This is a video of that. It gets stuck in the ground and then blows up. And I even try air launching, which is a video happening now. And I cannot gain control despite the fact I have tested this plane at this low altitude in simulations and it worked. And I don't. So I have no clue what to do. Sorry, I had a yawn. So I eventually decide, oh, well, I just need to glide at 50,000 to 40,000 to get my contract that I just took. The problem is when this thing launched, air launched, it caused there was a glitch in one of the times I tried to air launch this thing after one of the crashes in the road. It caused my contracts to reset to the default, and you're about to see that when I pull it up. Because I get the crewed altitude achievement right here. I get it for the air launch, just for launching it above 10,000. I get it too. I get that, but I don't get the contract I literally just took. And so I revert this fight thing, deciding, well, if I can't get the contract, technically I shouldn't even try to land this thing, even though I definitely could and would have gotten some science and at least some money from doing this. I decide, no, that's a little cheaty, so I don't even write this money down, and I end up reverting it, and going to look at my contracts, and this is, as I said, you see, it has completely reset, the glitch completely reset my contracts, I just, on first launch. So, after looking and seeing my active ones, it's seeing the only thing is my archived ones, and it doesn't show that I've done this mission. I go ahead and take it. And I look and I'm still trying to just make sure I'm not going crazy. After making sure I'm not going crazy, I'm like, well, okay then. And I pick a rocket that I know can do a low-tier rocket for a cheap one. Get the rest of the data for one of my rockets engine types I'm using for, and this is me using that knowledge to my advantage. Since the contract failed, I'm gonna go, I fucked up in the early years of my thing, so I'm gonna take this glitch as a small blessing and get the extra money. But yeah, this is just a small one of my test one of the sounding Mach 1s, just with a different engine on the bottom of it to get some data for that engine, so it's more reliable. And honestly, this will probably be my main way of testing my future rockets engines, is just putting it on the sounding rocket that takes takes much less days to build than the other ones, and just launch it a couple thousand feet out. I might edit the test flight one as the engines get more powerful to get like the full burn time out of them, but right now they're all about 50 seconds, so right now it works anyways, because it's got like a 45-second burn time or something like that. Anyways, this one, of course, lands in the water, so it's gonna hit the ocean and sink. Now, I decide to just let the nose cone I recovered the nose cone and the thing, and apparently this is a fun glitch that will show up in a minute. It also reset the fact that I haven't gotten my science for this, so I also go ahead and take that 2 science, but the next probe core I just destroy because it doesn't get any science. that I need, I think? No. Maybe. Yeah. No, it just gets destroyed because I accidentally fast-forwarded too quickly. But it's fine. I can still get that science. It's science for the temperature and stuff. Barometer, so I'm just gonna have to re-get it, which is fine. I'm about to do a mission up that high anyways. Now, the Mach 5 that I'm about, I think it's the Mach 5, yeah, the Mach 5 I'm about to launch, it's going to do the command line. I might have to put batteries in it, because it's going to be doing quite a lot of science, and I don't know if it will have enough battery life to do all the science I want it to do, honestly. I bet it'll be fine, because it's also got to stay alive long enough to do both shoots. So this is the next launch. This is the actual launch of my Mach 4.5, I think, or 3.5. 4. No, it's my Mach 4. It's not my Mach 5 and 4.5 yet. That is, I think, the next launch. This is the one I think the nose cone crashes on, I think. Even though it gets the science I technically need. I get the science with the next launch. So, yeah. It is a fun thing. This one does the contract I wanted to do. I think the Mach 4.5 has the engine config changed on only one of them. Yeah, one of them. It makes it much more reliable. So, yeah. I think together with like the 95 chance times the 93 chance. I think in total my rockets have an 88% chance reliability because one has 97, one has 96, and one has 95. While the Mach 5, or is it the Mach 4.5? This might be the Mach 4. Mach 4 only has one change. This might be the 4.1. Yeah, the 4.1 only has one change, which is 88%. The Mach 5 has the 97 and the 96.1 and the 95.6 reliability engines, which are much, much higher. Even though when I launched the rocket, it's the 95.6, they do not technically are not at the full 96 yet. They'll be close, but not. No cigar. This one also lands in the water and blows up, like I said. And total my Mach 5 has 91.8% chance of success, which an 8 point 8% chance of failure is not bad. I'll go ahead and we're just gonna go straight to my next launch, which is a Mach 4.5. This is a Mach 4.5. Yeah, the last one was for Mach 4.1. This one has a couple different engines. This one has two new different engines, technically. It's more powerful engines on the bottom. It has the ones that will be on the Mach 5, the 97, the 96 ones. 9% chance. Black Whipple's third one, which are 96%, chance of success. And so that makes it much, and the top one is Black Corporal's second thing, which is 95% thing, so it does get higher. Not as high as the Mach 5 will, because it's got bigger tanks and got longer burn times. It actually takes advantage of the thrust-to-weight ratio and burn times of the two to get above the Karma line. But the Mach 4.5 just gets higher up in the atmosphere. I think this is the one that breaks 80,000 and gives me that milestone for breaking 80,000. Making me a lot of money. Because I get the contract for... it. The milestone for it. So the next milestone will be 100,000. So when I do the Karma line, I'll basically be getting 2. And I forgot to do my stuff beforehand, so you see me struggling to try and click on my thermometer before it spins out of control faster than I can catch it. And I struggle with it, so I left this in. So y'all can see my struggle. I can't remember if this one's the one that breaks 80,000 or not. I know one of them do. I just can't remember if it's this one or not. I think it does.
It's at 66,000, and that's my contract, my original contract I got. And this thing gets a lot of science. No, it does not break 80,000. I forget which one it was, but I swear one of them did. Or maybe that was an assimilation and didn't really happen. I know one of them might have been the Mach 5 when it went up. So it's gonna theoretically get the milestone for 80,000. Theoretically, I should also technically get the milestone for 100,000 at the same time. This one, I'm pretty sure, ends up in the water. But yeah, I've figured out I'm basically gonna have to increase my rocket to be much more reliable if I want to, because the bottom engine has 4, and I'm eventually gonna need 4, and even at 96% chance of failure, it's still a high chance of failure. Recover it, get some science.
This is one of the few fast forward moments still in the recording.
And it's my last one. That was my last rocket launcher. I think it was in December. So we're gonna do my totals for 1954 and 1955. As you can see, 1954 was another low spending month. But because of the extra contracts I was able to get in 1955 because of the glitch, I spent a little more money to unlock stuff for 1956. Yeah, 1955 was big spending because of those extra contracts. I decided to do something a little special for y'all. We're going to show what my total, how much money I've spent and how much I've made over the 5 years we've been doing this. So, this is what, 4th episode, and so we're going to cram. I've only made a little over 2,000 more than I've